choose the topics for the books that you write, and how many books have you written to date?
Well, I am right now. I'm finishing up what would be my 10th book with a major publisher under my own name, and I've also done
your own imprint.
No, not my own imprint. This book is with HarperCollins.
Right.
Under my that I've written. Jack Cashell wrote these books. This is about a half dozen other books or so that I've collaborated with other people on, and usually kept my name off the cover.
Usually, well, there are other people with ghostwriters, and we know who they are.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What was the hardest book? The topic you chose for a book. What was the hardest one to produce?
Well, I would say the hardest one was probably, in terms of actual research, was my book on TWA Flight 800, because it's such a highly technical subject, and it's something you really have to do your homework to jump into. You can't afford to make mistakes when you have thousands of aviators reading your book, and you know much more about that.
And other people too,
right.
who may have been responsible.
That's right. People who speak that language as their first language. For me, it's not my first language, so that took a lot of work. I'd also say Popes and Bankers for that same reason.
My fun book.
And there, the hard part wasn't the historical part. The hard part was the Wall Street collapse, because that's, again, you're dealing with in a world where people speak a language, and there's hundreds of thousands of people who know that language well, and if you're going to wade into that discussion, you have to be able to master the vocabulary.
Well, I must say, the books I've read of yours, and of course I'm a speed reader, you have a beautiful fluidity and your choice of phraseology. So, and what I don't understand, even if and I know they don't like your topics like the San Francisco Chronicle, why it is that the book critics at the Chronicle, the Los Angeles Times, the Chicago Tribune, Boston Globe, the one in the Philadelphia, the major papers around the country, why don't their book critics look at your books, and even if they don't like it, which at least they would give you mention that this book's been published and this is what we disagree with or don't like.
Well, I don't take that personally, because the major media have simply stopped reviewing conservative books by conservative authors. And this happened to David Horowitz. This happened to Mark Levin. It's happened to people who sell a whole lot more books than I do. Although what is curious is that, and this has been a recent development, because my first books were reviewed by the Kansas City Star.
Oh yeah, Thomas White.
Right, and then they stopped reviewing.
Oh, William Allen White. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Got the wrong White.
All white guys look alike.
And they age badly. Jack, you've been called by some critics who looked at your topics as the Stephen King of political writing. What do you say to that?
Well, the scarier the topic, the faster people close to the sources of power run from it.